Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Zero number 119 WB. This is a piece of spring bronze V-cushion, we call it. You can use your imagination and see why we call it V-cushion. There's two types of bronze. There's V-cushion, and then there's the spring bronze, which is flat, but it's got a giddy up in it, so that when you nail it to the jamb, it actually stands proud of the rabbet of the frame a little bit. That's called spring bronze. This is V-cushion. You can certainly see why we call it that. Bronze, this is a adhesive type. This will not include nails at all. That features a peel-away two-sided tape that's there, and a lot of customers like this material because they're not carpenters. They don't want to be carpenters. They don't have time to be carpenters. They've got other things to do, and a self-adhesive weather stripping is attractive to them. I got that. I understand that. I'm not in agreement with using self-adhesive to keep weather stripping on. I think eventually it will fatigue and fail. Although the last client I sold this to, he said, "Yeah, I want the self-adhesive, but you know what? Send me an ounce of nails as well, so we can sell you nails to complement the self-adhesive material." And actually, in fact, I think what I'll do is add an attribute for nails so that you have the option to nail it on as well. But most people don't. They just use the self-adhesive material, and that's how they do it. Now, this is made of bronze. It is 1.25 inches wide. Pardon me, I said 1.25 inches, it's 1 1/8. The overall height of it, when it's not compressed, it's going to be right at about 3/8 of an inch, right? When I compress that down, you can see I can close it up pretty well, down to about 1/8. You're going to want to use this on a door that's got a typical 1/8 inch margin between the door and frame. People will also say, "I've got a heavier than standard gap. What can I do?" V-cushion would work because you saw that this was 3/8 of an inch. So if you had, a 1/4 inch between the door and jamb for whatever reason, you could use something like this to fill the gap very well. It's relatively inexpensive. It's known to be incredibly long-lasting and durable. Again, those long-lasting and durable terms come with it when it's nailed on. I've seen this material installed after decades, still successfully. The material thickness at the end is 0.007, 0.007. That's obviously been cut, so I don't know the exact dimensional thickness of the material. There's a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure where we can review the 119 WB. And they do not give us a thickness of the material. 34 gauge maybe is what they're giving us. Let's take a look and see if that translates to something. I was able to find online a wire gauge comparison guide, and 34 gauge does come to 0.006. So my caliper was spot on. So it's 0.0063. 34 gauge. So the catalog does refer to the thickness as a gauge, and the balance of the information on that product brochure is very handy because it will allow you to review the other the other bronze type pieces of weather stripping, and of course stainless steel versions where appropriate. Zinc is very typical and common. The weather stripping that you see here is in relationship to doors where you have interlocking weather stripping. And this bronze and otherwise interlock weather stripping is very common on older doors built many years ago, decades in fact, and it's because that's what was available. And a lot of people, as a result, very much trust bronze weather stripping. Nailed on spring bronze or V-cushion will last a very long time. So people continue to ask for it because it's proven to be incredibly durable and long-lasting, especially when you have an interlock. There's nothing that's really going to beat two pieces of material interlocking together to prevent the intrusion of material coming in. The 119 is in the bottom portion, the bottom third of the page. You can see the reference to the smaller size, the 19B, that's there as well. The PSA, the pressure sensitive adhesive, is listed as available on only those part numbers that are listed there. So be mindful that the 19B is not listed as available with pressure sensitive adhesive. Not that you couldn't get some and put it on yourself. Links to the nails are also mentioned there. Should you want to belt and suspender your installation, that is an option. The 119WB is listed in our site in lots of different lengths, everything from probably 2 foot to 8 foot lengths. You can order custom lengths, just order the next longest piece, indicate the size you want us to cut it back to, and we'll be happy to do that. These guys are, I've seen this material cut on a metal cutting table saw. I've seen this material cut on. I've seen it cut with aviation snips. You're probably going to need to trim it in the field because where the head and jam meet, that's going to be a somewhat inelegant intersection of the two pieces. Not a lot of option in terms of that regard unless you really try to miter it, which I don't have any experience doing. Although if you could compound miter this, that would be very elegant at those inside corners. If you're going to do that, order the material long, compound miter your inside corners, measure your pieces, and then chop them at the bottom of the jams. Love to know how that turns out for you. There's also a link below this video to the mounting drawing, and it's basically installation instructions which show you where they are to be located on the door and frame. I should say on the frame. Now, what you might be thinking about is the trouble that you're going to have with this weather stripping around your lock preparation. And indeed, you will. You will have that trouble. What a lot of people will do is go with what's called a lock strip, which is just basically a smaller piece. So you might want to look at ordering yourself a piece of 18B so that you can imagine this coming up to your strike and then stopping, and then a deadbolt strike, and then a space, and then a lock strike, and then a small piece. Well, the lock strip will go on the inside of the rabbet at the face of the stop so that you don't have a continuous piece naturally, but you will have a continuous seal, so to speak. So a lock strip is what's used to mitigate that sort of a problem. So just order accordingly what you need, and reach out to us if you have any problems. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Zero weather stripping products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm a fan of Zero products from the perspective that their product line is very highly engineered and thought out and thought through with the intent to solve some very unique problems. The original, the founder of Zero created the most curated list of weather stripping that I've ever seen. If you have more than an occasional need for weather stripping, you should familiarize yourself with the Zero product catalog, specifically when it comes to automatic door bottoms. Theirs are, in my opinion, the best. And any installations that have anything to deal with STC ratings. If you need to deaden sound, the name Zero is synonymous and the leader when it comes to STC rated material, and their catalog would pay off handsomely with information regarding that. If you have any questions on the Zero 119WB, spring, bronze, V-cushion, self-adhesive, gasketing, or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.